Hello, horse racing fans, and welcome to the Sport of Kings, your window into the world of horse racing. Today, we'll visit with recently retired jockey Chris Loseth and his wife Tracy. Our trip down memory lane will feature the 2000 John Longden Handicap. Our race of the week is the British Columbia Breeders' Cup Oaks. Our salute to the champions features the 2002 Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. And now here he is, BC's ambassador to the world of horse racing, Mr. Tommy Walski.
Recently, Hall of Fame jockey Chris Loseth announced his retirement after 31 years in the saddle. Last week, we showed you the first of two parts on the career of Loseth and what he is about to be doing in the latter part of his life. Let's go visit with Loseth, the person at Hastings and in the business we call loose. Chris winning his 8 in a row. What was that like? And how did you ever accomplish 8?
Well, actually, I only got 7. Our horse got suspended for a bad test, and they moved me up to the win.
No one else would. Everybody else would have said, yeah, I win the 8. You got to come out and tell the truth and say, well, no.
Actually, got one through the back door.
I got one through the back door. But it still was a very exciting day.
And it was a miserable Vancouver night.
Yes,
it was. Just, I mean, every single picture has got big raindrops in it, and it was just a miserable night, but it was sure something. It was, and everybody got on pins and needles, you know, oh, he's 1-4, he's 1-5, you know, it was really neat. There was a lot of electricity in the air over it.
The Gomez Award.
It meant an awful lot to me, Tom, because it was, you're selected by your peers, and that was a big piece of recognition from people that I respect. That was a touching moment for me. Actually, that's probably the most choked up I've ever been as far as an acceptance speech for something. Like, that was pretty tough to get through, the first few minutes of it at least.
Are you missing it?
Not a bit, Tom. We're too busy. We're having, actually, the time of our lives. Like, we're working really hard.
Getting results.
You know, we're getting great results, and we got some wonderful horses to look forward to, and we got wonderful help. We got 2 guys working for us that are enjoying it as much as we are.
Did you realize there was life after horse racing when it comes to riding?
Oh, I knew years ago, Tom, that I would be connected in the training end of the business when I was done. Like, there was no doubt in my mind. When I quit riding in California in 1991, I went straight to getting horses ready for the sale at Delmar, and I worked there for 2 years. Then we went to Barrett's after that, but I did that for 5 or 6 years, maybe 7 years, getting 2-year-olds and training ready. I knew at that time that I would be involved in that end of the game.
So you've seen other riders that they're lost when it's all over. I mean, it's sad.
Well, yeah, I think you have to find a passion. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying everybody should be a trainer or anything else, but I mean, when you're done riding, you're relatively still pretty young. There's not too many riders ride till they're 50. You better find something else where you can make a living and still enjoy yourself.
Hey, Tracy, what's his job?
He does a little bit of everything. I think we do. We work through committee. We have it's not just Chris and I. Everybody gets a vote. It's a good way to be. We talk things out, and you know, we've got Ole and my mom and Steve McDonald, and we've got a very small group of people, but they certainly have just as many rights, if not more, than we do in choosing scenarios and what they want to do and what they want to see for their horses. So.
What's your job out on the farm right now?
Well, we only got 2 training there right now, so I got Dennis Terry Jr. getting on them. Basically, I'm just overseeing and making sure, finding out where the horses are at and when they should come to town.
His work ethics, they're unbelievable. Your thoughts on that, and we'll ask Chris about where we got it from.
Well, you know what? I think that, this is something that you just either have or you don't. He's been like this ever since he first came around the racetrack, especially with Alan May. I mean, he did a lot of work, for Alan and mucking stalls and learning the hard way and coming up through the ranks and really putting the time in. And that's just been instilled upon him that that's how you get ahead and that's what you do. And so now with us, Chris cleans out 4 or 5 stalls a day, minimum, and can do a faster job and a better job than anyone else.
Is that how you feel, Chris?
Well, I wouldn't feel that way if I didn't have her driving me.
But I'm doing it too. I'm working too.
Oh, that's.
Yeah.
We're both are working very hard to establish ourselves in this business, because this is a new end for both of us. Like, she just started training last year, and then I just retired. So this is a new business for both of us, and we're just trying to establish ourselves.
Outside of Danny Brock, I don't know any other jock that throw out his eagle to ride the pony in the post parade.
Tracy told me I had to do something. That was the easiest thing I could find to do.
He thinks he's getting paid for it, but he's not. He suddenly realized that the pony people get $18 a
And I was hoping that was beer money.
And he was hoping he was going to be able to stockpile that, but the scene and because he gets on these horses, he can warm them up the way he wants them warmed up, and it's a real plus. I mean, it's a real plus to be able to go out there and do that.
Do jocks listen to you when you're on the pony?
I never say anything, Tom. Just like when I was riding. I just tell them when they first come out. I told Justin the other day, just let him run his race when he come out of notice. That was all we said the whole way. In fact, he even commented, said, "Well, you're not much for talking out here, are you?"
What's in store for the future? What would you like to see for both of you?
Actually, I'd like it to stay exactly the way it's staying. Just train a few horses, better horses for ourselves and a few of our clients. Not get too big.
I personally want to continue buying nice horses, whether it be in Kentucky or BC or wherever. We have some nice brood mares, raising some nice foals, like Notice Otis. And don't get too big and keep involved.
And develop your young horses, and the ones that don't make it, get rid of quickly, because you don't want to pack dead weight.
Yeah.
And just try to have good horses in the barn.
Yeah.
Today in our memory lane portion of the program, we're going to be taking you back to the year 2000. You're going to be watching the Johnny Longden handicap as we continue with our focus on many of the top horses who raced here at Hastings in the past. Horse you'll be watching is Yaletown, owned by Linda and Marlene Chisholms. After the race, we'll get you caught up with what has happened to Yaletown since he has retired.
Memory Lane is brought to you by the Sport of Kings website, your window into the internet world of horse racing.
Down the lane they come. It's Mark My Dreams, but here comes Yaletown on the outside. Yaletown, Mark My Dreams, victorious type with a late run. Yaletown by a length and a half. Yaletown to win it. Tight photo for second.
Jerome, Yaletown, pretty nice horse. Update us.
Yeah, Tom, it was thrill of a lifetime stuff. You know, horses like that don't come around very often. There's people in this business for a long time that don't get a chance, and we had the opportunity, and what a thrill it was to race a quality individual like that. Right now, Tom, he's out at the Slow Motion Stables in Maple Ridge, and he's, pony, basically. My wife rides him, I ride him. I mean, we're all going to have him for life. You know, he's like the son I never had, and basically, as we say, he bought our house, and now we pay for his.
Don't go away. The Sport of Kings will be right back. Now to get you up to date with all the happenings in and around the track, let's saddle up with our own Carmen Thomas.
Last weekend was the BC Breeders' Cup Oaks, which we will be showing you later on in the show in this week's Race of the Week. But the festivities didn't end there. Sunday was also Ladies' Day. This meant special events for the ladies, including free makeovers and massages. Many women came to the track this day with hats. There was even a contest to award the person with the best hat. And there was live music by none other than me and my twin sister Camille. Last weekend was also the date for this year's $50,000 Richmond Derby trial. This is the big prep race for the upcoming BC Derby on September 24th. And this year, the Richmond Derby trial had an even greater significance as it automatically guarantees the winner a spot in the Derby.
The change was made because last year we had a situation where the BC, the Richmond Derby trial winner didn't get it, or just about didn't get into the Derby on earnings. And it almost makes sense that the trial winner should be an automatic in the Derby.
This year's Richmond Derby trial brought out a full field of horses ready to prove they'll be the horse to reckon with in the quickly approaching Derby. This included 2-year-old Horse of the Year Notice Otis, who is making his first stakes race appearance since his recovery from a life-threatening virus. This was a great race. Let's go take a look at the stretch drive.
As they turn for home, 3 abreast. Notice Otis from the rail. On the extreme outside, Appearance Fee and Spaghetti Mouse right there in between runners. Appearance Fee has the lead now by a neck. Spaghetti Mouse second, Notice Otis third. It will be Appearance Fee to score. Spaghetti Mouse second, Notice Otis third, and Timely Brush up for fourth.
Remember, racing fans, that tomorrow is your chance to meet your favorite jockey and support a good cause at the same time. It's the New Stride and Jockey Benefit Fund Barbecue taking place tomorrow after the races. Tickets for the barbecue are $20 and proceeds will go towards BC's thoroughbred adoption agency, New Stride. I spoke with New Stride's Vice President John Knighton earlier this week to ask him about the barbecue and how this event benefits his organization.
We're a non-profit foundation. It's all by voluntary work. It's all by donation. So every bit of money that we can make by donation goes directly to feed and care for the thoroughbreds that are in our care.
And next weekend, the stakes races continue. This time, it's the CTHS Sales Stakes races. These races are only open to horses who have gone through the CTHS yearling and mixed sale. And if you want to own your own horse eligible to run in a future CTHS Sales Stakes race, come check out this year's sale. It's coming up this week, Monday, September 12th and Tuesday, September 13th. And from Barn M, I'm Carmen Thomas, and now you're back on track.
With the annual mixed sale being held Tuesday, we thought perhaps you'd like to get a little inside information on what perhaps to look for when you're buying a youngster. We asked owner, breeder, trainer Richard Yates for a few tips.
One thing I've noticed a lot of buyers do, particularly in venues where there is room, like Keeneland, Ocala, people will step well away from the horse just to look at the total animal to start with. That's what I like to do. I just like to step back and look at the horse in its entirety and ask myself the question, does this look like an athlete? Does this look like a racehorse? Some people will pick up feet, some people don't. I like to look at a horse's feet. I like to pick them up if it's dangerous with some horses. At some point you're going to have them ask the handler to walk the horse, and he's going to walk the horse away from you and back to you. You can usually see a little better walking away than you can walking towards you, how the horse tracks. Some really adventurous buyers, when they're back behind the horse, will lift the tail to make sure that the muscular development is symmetrical in the hind end and down under the tail, the parts that you normally can't see. Now, one thing that I like to do, I like to watch horses come out of the stall. When she puts this one back, I'm going to walk back and watch how it goes in. Horses that don't want to do what they're supposed to do make me a little nervous. I don't like horses that are difficult to get out. I don't like horses that are hard to put back in the stall. The most important thing, I think, is to just look at the horse and find something that you like. It's easy to look at horses and find things that you don't like. There are very few perfect race horses. I don't know that I've ever seen one. I'm sure people have been looking longer than me will tell you the same thing. They just don't see perfect race horses. But what you want to find in a horse are the things that you like about the horse, and decide whether the things that you don't like you can live with. Are they going to really affect soundness? That comes again from experience and luck. I think buying horses is probably, it's a lottery with about 75% just pure luck factor, and there's about a 25% skill testing element.
Don't go away. The Sport of Kings. We'll be right back.
Today in our race of the week, we're featuring the 3-year-old fillies. They'll be competing in the highlight race of the Greater Northwest. In the Greater Northwest, it is the BC Breeders' Cup Oaks, was run last weekend here at Hastings Racecourse. We're going to be doing something a little different when it comes to this race today. We're going to tell you a horse to watch. That will be the number 2 horse, Monarchy, ridden by apprentice jockey Justin Stein. The reason we're giving you the key on this horse is this. Watch the ride that Justin Stein puts on Monashee. It is what we call in the business a $1 million ride.
Today's race of the week brings together the best 3-year-old fillies in the Pacific Northwest in the British Columbia Breeders' Cup Oaks. They'll go 1 mile and an eighth. They'll go for a purse of $125,000. Virtuous Lady is owned by Ross McLeod and Thomas Bell. Virtuous Lady is a classy Florida bred that has done well sprinting this year, but she will be able to go the distance today. Secrets Galore is owned by Ross McLeod. Secrets Galore is a Kentucky bred that just missed in a stakes race at Northland in her last outing. Monashee is owned by Canmore Farms. Monashee is a Kentucky bred that has done well in allowance races this year.
She seems to be very versatile, going short or longer. We gallop her. She never turns a hair. She seems to be a horse that's got great lung capacity and a great heart.
Windsurf is owned by Carnell and Mike Joll. Windsurf is a Kentucky bred that is coming off a win in the Nanaimo. Regal Pusher is owned by John and Mike Young. Regal Pusher is having a great year at Hastings. She's in tough today though, but her connections think she'll handle the distance. A Classic Life is owned by Michael and Amy Feuerborn. A Classic Life is a Kentucky bred making her debut at Hastings and is coming off a strong win in the Emerald Downs Oaks 2 weeks ago.
I'm riding a Classic Life. I think she's a very, very talented filly, and she's just about getting to where she feels that she's unbeatable, and she's pretty comfortable to ride and a very easy ride. So I think we should have a very fair, nice trip.
After the Night is owned by Peter Redekop. After the Night is a classy BC bred and has been knocking on the door in stakes races this year. Queen Ledoux is owned by Kings and Queens Stable. Queen Ledoux is another Emerald Downs filly that is having a wonderful season there. She'll handle the distance easily.
She's pretty much the best in Washington right now. Really nice filly. She ships well, and she already has worked over the racetrack, so we're looking forward to a good day.
Vicky's Song is owned by Raymond Hansen and Angela Chan. Vicky's Song is a closer that will benefit from what could be a pace duel today. Gentle Flow is owned by Zach and Bess Correa. Gentle Flow is a Kentucky bred from Emerald Downs and is having a good season south of the border. Avenging Cat is owned by Diglett Stable. Avenging Cat is a BC bred filly that will probably not like the distance today.
When she ran her first time, I think we were too hard on her, and then we had to go right back in the siding diamond, the siding futurity, and she was a little tired for the race, and she win it, and then she come back after 9 months and win again.
Do you give your brother any instructions?
Never listen. He never listen. I try. He never listen. So things work better when I don't even give him instructions. They work it out better.
Miss Rainier is owned by Glenn Todd and Patrick Kinsella. Miss Rainier is a BC bred that just missed in the Nanaimo. She'll have a much tougher test today. Now let's enjoy the Pacific Northwest best 3-year-old fillies in the British Columbia Breeders' Cup Oaks.
There they go. Virtuous Lady was left at the break. A field of 12 3-year-old fillies sent on the way in the BC Breeders' Cup Oaks. Monashee is quick at the break and right on the early lead. Avenging Cat in second. Regal Pusher is third. Then it's a Classic Life sitting in fourth. On the outside and moving up now is Virtuous Lady, followed by Queen Ledoux, Windsurf at the rail, followed by Gentle Flow, Secrets Galore. Then it's After the Night, Miss Rainier. The early trailer is Vicky's Song. The opening quarter in 23 flat through the stretch for the first time. On the outside now it's Virtuous Lady by a head. Avenging Cat has the rail and a second by 2.5. Regal Pusher in between runners. On the outside, a Classic Life in fourth. Monashee is now tucked in at the rail in fifth, followed by Windsurf, Queen Ledoux on the outside. After the Night, then it's Gentle Flow, Secrets Galore, Vicky's Song, and Miss Rainier. She's 12 from the lead. The half, 46-4 as they turn for the backstretch. Avenging Cat has the lead now by a length and a quarter. It's a Classic Life moving up on the outside, and Monashee attacking from along the rail. Queen Ledoux is fourth, 2.5 from the lead, followed by Windsurf, Regal Pusher. After the Night, now Virtuous Lady is losing ground. Gentle Flow, and Vicky's Song. 6 furlongs, 1:12 and 3. Midway on that turn, they have to come and catch Monashee. She leads it now by almost 2. A Classic Life in second. Then on the outside is Queen Ledoux in third. Down the lane they come. It's Monashee. She's drawn away by 4. Monashee, A Classic Life. Queen Ledoux on the outside and Windsurf. But the Oaks goes to Monashee. She wins it by 4. Queen Ledoux second, A Classic Life third, and Windsurf fourth.
She was running really fast out of the gate. I just let her come out on her own. She's pretty quick. And she made the lead easy, and I just kind of let her settle on her own. And those guys, it surprised me that they went by. Like, you get your position and you just take it. But they went by me, and I was like, fine, go ahead. And then I knew that they were going to give me the rail. I could see that the whole way. So going into the first turn, I moved a little earlier than I wanted to, but I had to get through on the rail. So she ran all the way to the wire.
Tracy, this was an emotional victory for you.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, this has been sort of a whirlwind year so far with Chris retiring, and he's just a great partner in all aspects and has really done well with these horses. And he's my gallop boy and he's my pony boy, and he's really taught this filly how to relax out on the racetrack in the mornings. And we had great confidence that she would relax, and I think everybody thought that, you know, she would just go and run her race and be gassed, but she's just a vastly improving filly at all times.
This filly, actually, I didn't know how good those Seattle horses were, and I had a lot of respect for them, and they deserved to be first and second favorite. But I had an inwardly confident feeling and thought we probably had the best horse here, and I don't normally talk that way, but I felt fairly good about the race, and she's a wonderful mare.
Time now for Sport of Kings trivia, and here is today's trivia question. 3 Breeders' Cup winners have produced a Breeders' Cup race winner. Who was the first? We'll have the answer in a moment. Time now for the answer to today's trivia question. Personal Ensign, the winner of the 88 Distaff, produced My Flag, the winner of the 95 Juvenile Fillies.
Now it's time for our Salute to the Champions, brought to you by the Vancouver Province. And today we're going to be showing you one of the most exciting races in Breeders' Cup history. We're taking you back to the year 1988. You're going to be looking at the Breeders' Cup Distaff. It features the Kentucky Derby winning filly, winning colors, and the unbeaten mare, Personal Ensign. Let's turn the microphone up to Tom Durkin.
The Salute to the Champions is brought to you by the Province Sports, where you can read racing columnist Tommy Walski every week. The Province Sports and Tommy Walski, it all starts here.
And they're up in the distaff. Goodbye Halo broke well in winning colors now, and she's going to run right on the lead early. Well, on the move has come out running in third, and she's taken in hand. Integra now has been gathered back in fourth position as they head for the first turn. Personal Ensign was away in good order now. She'll be floated a bit wide going into the turn by Sham Say. Epitome is saving ground all the way on the inside. And then Classic Crown is one horse beaten, and that is Hail the Cab as they round the first turn. And the Derby winner is Loose on the lead. It's winning colors now, and she's opened up by 4.5 lengths. Goodbye Halo is second, and Vasquez asking Sham Say for run now third toward the inside. Willa on the move is racing in fourth. Integra is fifth on the outside. Personal Ensign, the undefeated filly, is now 9 lengths off the lead as they continue up the backstretch. It's still winning colors, Loose on the lead by 2.5. Sham Say is running second. On the outside, Goodbye Halo in striking position is third. Willa on the move is asked for more run fourth. Personal Ensign is still 8 lengths out of it. There's a half mile to run, and winning colors doing what she did in the Derby. She's still free running on the lead. 3 furlongs to run, and she leads now by 3. Goodbye Halo beginning to pick it up in second now. Sham Say is third toward the rail. Personal Ensign is putting her run in on the inside now, and she takes to the outside. 5 lengths off the lead of winning colors, who turns for home here at Churchill Downs. Stevens going to a vigorous left-handed whip, holding on by 2. Goodbye Halo is charging hard. Here comes Personal Ensign, unleashing a furious run on the outside, but it is still winning colors. Goodbye Halo. Personal Ensign is 1/16 of a mile from the wire. Winning colors is there. Personal Ensign, a dramatic finish, and here is the wire, and it is Personal Ensign there with winning colors in a photo.
Now, after that win by Personal Ensign in the Breeders' Cup Distaff of 1988, she went on to become the only race mare, actually the only racehorse in North America ever to retire unbeaten and sound. She later went on to win an Eclipse Award. Well, that's it for this edition of the Sport of Kings. And on behalf of the crew here, we would like to say thank you for allowing us to spend this last half hour with you on this Saturday morning. Remember, there's lots of good live horse racing right here at Hastings Racecourse. Remember, keep them straight, and we are going to get you on that final turn.
Into the arms, into the heart.